Hi everyone, thank you for expressing an interest in studying A-level English language. My name is Mrs. Abbott, I am the Head of English at Desk and I'm also one of the very passionate teachers on the A-level English language course. So just to begin by talking you through the structure of the course, it is a linear course, meaning that all of your examinations will be at the end of Year 13. In Paper 1 you will study Language, the Individual and Society, which is worth 40%. In Paper 2, you will study Language, Varieties, Diversity and Change, which is also worth 40%. The final 20% of your marks is made up of what we call the non-examination assessment, the NEA, and that is two pieces of coursework that involve an original writing piece and a language investigation, both of which are worth 10% each. So to elaborate on Paper 1, it's divided into two sections. It's a really exciting paper. In Section A, you will have the opportunity to really test your analytical skills. You will delve into exactly what goes into creating a text from the perspective of a writer and how that is received by a reader. You won't just look at the words on the page, you will look at the grammar, the syntax, the punctuation, the phonology, so the sound patterns that are used, the graphology, so how images and fonts and layout and structure and colour are used. You will realise that there are so many things that go into the production of a non-fiction text. In Section B, it's my favourite area of the course, it's child language acquisition. This again is divided into two sections. You have spoken language development and you have literacy development. In spoken language development, we look at the way in which a baby goes from being this blank slate, their only form of communication being crying, and we look at the way in which they develop their spoken language, so from their very first utterance, their first word, all the way through to complete sentences and utterances. Really interesting area of study that has a lot of crossover with psychology and biology, because we look at the science of the mouth, the way in which the vocal cords strengthen to allow you to produce sound, and we also look at theories of language acquisition such as behaviourism and nativism that do touch on lots of the things that you will study in psychology if that's another A-level that you're interested in. The other aspect is child's literacy development, which looks at the way in which children learn to read and write. It's assessed in a 2-hour and 30-minute examination at the end of Year 13. For Paper 2, you study a really wide range of contextual approaches to language study and theoretical approaches. You will look at things such as language and gender, language and age, language and power, language and occupation, all of the contextual things that go into making a person's language what it is. You will also look at the history of the English language and how it has changed over time. How do new words come into a language? How do they become a permanent fixture? A really fascinating area of study, and it really is a diverse paper. You also have the opportunity to evaluate in this paper. You are invited to enter a debate, so you're encouraged to explore multiple avenues of interpretation. So if debate is something you are interested in, then this paper is one that you would enjoy. Again, it's assessed over a 2-hour 30-minute examination, and that will be at the end of Year 13. The coursework is the area that really allows you to pursue your personal interests. The language investigation is a 2,000-word investigation that is probably unlike anything you've done before. It requires you to research a particular area, that might be language and gender or child language acquisition, accent and dialect. You have to collect your own data, analyse it for linguistic trends, evaluate according to relevant theory, and then present your findings in a very systematic way. For the original writing piece, you have 3 areas that you are allowed to write within: the power of information, the power of persuasion, and the power of storytelling. So we have, again, a wide range of options. You might decide to write the chapter of your first novel, for example. You might decide to write persuasive speech. You might decide to write a broadsheet newspaper article. It really is up to you what you're interested in and where your passions lie. Okay, so this course does have strict grade entry requirements. We require you to have a minimum of a grade 6 in GCSE English language to ensure that you are able to make that challenging leap from GCSE to A-level. You must enjoy reading non-fiction texts. That's really important, and that is the main difference between English language study and English literature study. Language is focused on non-fiction, real-life communication, whereas literature is more of an art. You will study novels, you will study plays. You must enjoy researching and applying and evaluating theory. It's really important that you enjoy reading The Guardian, that you enjoy reading the news, that you stay up to date with current developments in language study. You must be an analytical thinker, find language fascinating, and finally you must enjoy writing because of the large essay requirement of this subject. In paper 1 you have 4 essays to do in 2 hours 30 minutes. In paper 2 you have 3 essays to do. So it really is suited to somebody that is a passionate writer. What do students go on to study? The big question. So lots of students ask, can I only become an English teacher with an English degree? The answer is no. However, it's the best job in the world, so consider it. However, there are lots of different avenues that you can go down. In terms of taking English language A-level, it really is a facilitating subject. Lots of students take it at A-level and then go on to study law, philosophy, politics, psychology, history, etc. It really does help with any subject that has an academic writing focus. In terms of careers, some of the more interesting ones that people tend to not realise or know about, if you know Susie Dent from Countdown, she is a lexicographer, so she is somebody that's involved in the production of dictionaries, so she has to have an advanced knowledge of language and the etymology of words, so the history of where words come from. Forensic linguistics is also another really popular choice. It's becoming more and more popular across universities, and that is using your advanced knowledge of language to help to solve crimes. If you have seen the Unabomber documentary on Netflix, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I would suggest going to watch it. Other popular career choices are journalism, marketing, pretty much any job that requires you to have an advanced command over the English language and be able to manipulate the way in which you write to suit different genres, audiences and purposes. I hope I've given you a bit of a taster as to what A-level English language involves. Please do feel free to pop and see me or drop me an email if you have any further questions. I hope you consider us as one of your options.